Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ivan Julio. I'm from Group 2. Today, I will present our discussion about host behavior, about book host behavior that we reviewed yesterday. For the group member, there is Amelia Jan Safitri, Agai Karvari, Ivan Julio, Haikal Muwahid Patulisan, Devani Wulandari, Nafisa Farah Ifani, Anggrek Tamania Firdausa, Silviana Fahra Askia, Eva Fauzia, Anggun Aulia, Dia Amara, Muhammad Ardian, and Hafiz Gifari. Okay, for the first, we have the book summary and review that will be presented by Devani Wulandari.
Okay, hello everyone. I will presenting about the book summary or the review. So, understanding horse behavior is a 4H guide designed to help students gain a deeper understanding of horse behavior and apply this knowledge to improve training, care, and horse management skill. The manual cover various aspects of the horse behavior, including first is basic behavior and ethology. Horse as social herbivorous animal with prey instinct. Ethology, the scientific study of animal behavior, help explain how horses interact with their environment. Horses rely heavily on their sense, vision, hearing, smell, taste, and touch to perceive threat and make this decision. The next is type of behavior. The guide categorized behavior into group like ingestive for eating, sexual, epimelectic for caregiving, and agonistic or conflict-related behavior, among others. It also emphasized the importance of herd dynamic and social hierarchies, for example, dominance or submission. The next is horse senses. Each senses is vital in shaping horse behavior. Horse have monocular and binocular vision, allowing them to scan a large area for predator. Their hearing is acute, and they use their sense of smell to recognize other, find food, and detect danger. For the next one is domestication and reproductive behavior. The book explore the domestication of horse and their breeding habits, including estrus cycle, mating behavior, and the impact of dominance on breeding. The next one is foaling and post-foaling behavior. It's provide insight in how mares behave during and after foaling, highlighting the mare's protective instinct and the bonding process with the newborn foal. The next is feeding and abnormal behavior. Horses spend much of their time grazing, and their selective feeding habits are discussed. Abnormal behavior of vices like cribbing, wood chewing, and stall kicking are covered with suggestion for prevention and correction. The manual conclude with exercise and encouraging students to observe and research horse behavior, enhancing their practical skill. Overall, it serves as a comprehensive resource for understanding the natural instinct and behavior of horses, essential for effective care and training. For the next is the question session.
Okay, next question about horse behavior basic. Question is the study of animal in their natural habit is the answer. The study of animal in their natural habit is ethology. Ethology is defined as the scientific study of animal behavior in natural condition. It is crucial for understanding horse behavior as it focuses on how horse act and intend with their environment. Alright. Domestication, horse still exhibit many of the same behavior. There are still white ancestors. By observing the natural behavior, we can improve training method and express better horse welfare. According to MC Griffey and MC Land, 2050, equine ethology described not only communication but equine behavior, need, and preference, learning value system, and motivation. It helped us to predict some of the ways horse of the natural environment migrate and cope with various challenges and how behaviorally flexing there may be as success underpin angry head and efficient training, but is not training system or philosophy per se. Okay, next question. Within the animal kingdom, cats are predator and horse are the answer. In the animal kingdom, cats are predator and horse are prey. Horse, being herbivore, have evolved and prey animal, which means their survival instinct focus on avoidance rather than confrontation. Unlike predators such as cat that stalk and hunt their food, horses have adapted to flee from danger. The strong fight or fight response is a reflection of this evolutionary pressure. Their senses are fine-tuned to detect theirs, and their first line of defense is usually to run rather than fight. A study by MC Gravy et al. 2014 in the journal PLOS ONE explains the evolution has treated cats as obligate carnivores with strong hunting insects, with horse have adapted as prey animal with a tendency to feel from threats. The difference are reflected in the anatomy, physiology, and behavior of both species.
Next, horses are anatomically designed for spending time on eating. Horses are anatomically designed to spend time eating. Horses, as herding animals, spend most of their time consuming forage. This is an important aspect of their behavior, as they need consume large amount of low energy food such as grass. Unlike carnivores, which spend more time hunting, horses focus on grazing, typically devoting about 10 hours per day to this activity. Their digestive system is uniquely designed to efficiently process fibrous plant material, reflecting their evolutionary role as herbivores. This is supported by modern research that emphasize the importance of natural food in maintaining their physical and mental health. Research conducted by Elia et al. In 2021 in the Journal of Equine Veterinary Science revealed that the equine digestive system has evolved to consume small but continuous amount of high fiber food throughout the day. The anatomy of the horse mouth, teeth, and digestive tract is well suited processing grasses and other fibrous plant. Horse in the wild can spend 16 until 18 hours a day, which demonstrate their anatomically adaptation to spending time eating. Elia et al. In 2021. Horses are anatomically intended to spend much of their time eating. This is reflected in their physiological and behavioral characteristic which promote a herbivorous existence. Horses are developed as grazing animal as evidenced by numerous essential elements of their anatomy and behavior. Digestive system has a distinct digestive system that enables them to efficiently handle vast volume of fibrous plant material. Their stomachs are small in comparison to their body, but they have a large cecum and column, which aid the fermentation of grass and hay, allowing them to get the most nutrients from their food. Foraging behavior, unlike carnivore, which spend a lot of time seeking and capturing prey, or spend the majority of their time grazing. They are meant to feed continuously, which is consistent with their natural behavior of seeking food throughout the day. This is referred to as ingestive behavior and include all action associated with eating and drinking. Social structure as herd animal horse exhibit behavior that aid in group foraging. They frequently graze together, which not only help them obtain food more effectively, but also give protection in numbers of potential predators. This type of behavior is associated with the consumption of food and water. ingestive behavior in horse refers to act of consuming food and water. This includes consuming food. Horse spend a significant amount of time for foraging, grass or hay, typically grazing for 12 to 18 hours a day. Their teeth are designed to grind plant material so they can effectively break down fibrous food. Drinking horse need to access to fresh water throughout the day. They have an instinctive sense of thirst and will seek out water source on frequent basis.
Okay, for the next, there is question number 2. When horse check out new arrival in the pasture, they are exhibiting titik-titik behavior. That means they are investigating behavior from the horse when checking out the new arrival in the pasture. Next, there is as horse establish pecking order, they prepare pick one. So basically, if we according to the book will literally say that is threatening display to horse to establish the pecking order they prepare. So they could live cozy life and threatening display to others. Next, there is horse sense.
Okay, for the next is horse sense. The first, how is spooking related to binocular vision? The answer is there is sometimes a brief visual shift as a horse switches from monocular to binocular vision, which sometimes cause an unexplained spooking of the horse. And the second, how does horse use their ears as protective mechanism? And the answer is horse use their ears as part of their protective mechanism, primarily through their acute hearing and ability to move their ears independently. This allows them to apply feet and pinpoint sounds from different directions, which is crucial for detecting potential threats in their environment. As prey animals, horses rely heavily on their auditory sense to detect predators. When they hear something alarming, their ears swivel towards the sound source, and this can trigger a flight response if the threat is perceived as significant. Okay, the next.
For the next question is rank the importance of vision, hearing, and touch in transmitting signals from riders to horse. The answer is number 1 is touch. Touch is the most important sense for transmitting signals from riders to horse. The book emphasized that the sense of touch is crucial in human-horse interaction, particularly through the use of reins, the rider position, and the leg posture. Number 2 is hearing. This is the second most important sense. Horse use their hearing to detect and respond to auditory cues from the rider, such as voice command. Number 3 is vision. While vision is important for horses to navigate the environment, it is less critical than touch and hearing for direct communication between riders and horse. For the next topic is domestication. The question is, how long have horses been domesticated? According to the book, horses have been domesticated from approximately 6,000 years. The book mentioned that domesticated horse remains have been dated to around 6,000 years ago, and by 3 years ago, domestic horses had spread to Europe, Asia, North Africa. But according to Librado et al. At 2021, horses have been domesticated for approximately 4,000 years. That domestication of horses is traced back to around 2,000 years BCE in the Western Eurasian steppes, particularly in the lower Volga-Don region. This domestication even led to the spread of modern domestic horses across Eurasia, replacing almost all other local horse population. Next.
The next question is what animal were domestic before horse? Several animals were domestic before horse, including the number one, duck. Around 15 years ago, likely the first animal domestication by humans. The second number is goat. Around 10,000 years ago, domestication for milk, meat, and hides. The three, sheep. The domestication around 1100 years ago. The cattle, domestication around 800 years ago. And the next pig, domestication around 800 years ago. Horse, on the other hand, were domestication much later, around 600 years ago. The number three, give one or more method the humans have used to change breeding pattern during the domestication of horse. During the processing of domestication, humans have developed various methods to change horse breeding pattern to suit their needs and goals. Some common methods used include the number one, artificial selection. Parent selection, humans deliberately select horse with the desired traits such as speed, strength, and kind physical to become parents. The number two, parents removal. Horses that do not have the desired trait will be removed from the breeding process. The next, inbreeding. Inbreeding is done a maintained certain train is long. And three, informant modification. The number one, nutrition. Providing quality and balanced feed and affect the fertility and reproductive health of horse. The next, management. Good environmental conditions such as a clean and comfortable cage can improve the quality of sperm and ovum.
Next is mating behavior. The question, the first in the tendency, when are mares most likely to mate? The answer, in the manual book, this can be as early as 9 or 10 months, but is usually 12 to 15 months. The second, the lip curling reflex is called the answer flamen. When the male starts expelling fluid or esters and male smells female, he may exhibit the flamen or lip curling reflex. And for number three, the manager can encourage the expression of esters display behavior. How is this done? For the answer is a single stallion, sometimes a pony in prepared around as a teaser to stimulate estrus display. The use of a teaser stallion in large breeding operation is routine to stimulate mares into a receptive state before the introduction of the breeding stallion. For the next behavior at polling time, number one, at parturition, mares are likely to, for the answer is seek solitude. The first sign that can be observed, but not always, is the tendency for the mare to isolate herself from the rest of the herd. One study conducted the pre-ranging horses showed that mares may separate as far as 3 miles from the herd, while another study in a desert environment found that many of the mares followed near the herd. Younger mares were less likely to seek isolation. Mares following in pens or stalls will often seek a corner on an area that offers the most privacy.
Okay, the next one is the new fall is likely to nurse within. The answer, the new fall is likely to nurse within 1 hour after birth. The fall will begin to stand and attempt to suckle 21 to 14 minutes after birth. The mother will push the fall body to the area around her udder in order to suckle immediately. The fall begins to suckle 80 to 196 minutes after birth with a suckling duration of
13 to 27 minutes within the first hour of starting to suckle. Okay, the last one. How often will false nurse during the first few weeks? The answer, false will nurse frequently during the first few weeks, with estimates ranging from 1 to 2 times per hour, and each session lasting as long as 3 minutes. As the foal gets older, the frequency and duration of nursing session decrease, probably because they become more adept at suckling and are less dependent on the mare. The next one is feeding behavior. So the first question is in a grazing habitat, the time spent consuming feed depends on what factors. The time that horses spend in consuming feed depends on type and availability of forage, consumption behavior, and the level of nutrient demand. Even in some cases, the feed is limited. Horse will eat only when feed is present or can be found. On the other hand, when food availability is abundant, horse will create patterns of consumption behavior. The consumption behavior is developed due to response of daylight or darkness cycles. Most studies indicate the heaviest grazing will occur in the hours around dawn and in the late afternoon, near sunset. Lastly, grazing time can be affected by the demand for nutrients. Horses on low-quality pasture might spend more time grazing to fulfill their nutritional needs, while those on a high-quality pasture might eat forage for much longer than needed to satisfy their requirements. Well, for the second, do horses always eat what is the best for them? Given an example to defend your answer. Horses do not always eat what is the best for them. Horses tend to choose their feed by sight, touch, taste, and smells. It means horses eat something that they find attractive. Horses are known as a spot grazer, often choosing the most palatable and nutritious part of forage while leaving behind less desirable portion. For instance, they tend to prefer immature, leafy grasses over mature one, which can lead to uneven pasture growth and overgrazing in certain areas.
The three, what sense does a horse as in selecting what it will consume? Horse have a sophisticated sense to taste, allowing them to sort food and course what they most want to eat, and their strong lips can easily sort out even small grains. Horse will generally not eat poisonous plants, but there are exceptions. Horse will sometimes eat toxic mounts of poisonous plants if even though they have had a healthy diet. Abnormal behavior phase. Number one, what is the difference between wood chewing and cribbing? Chewing wood is a behavior in horse that is usually not for nutrition, but is often due to burden, stress, or lack of fiber. This is called cribbing or wood chewing. Horses do not have the ability to properly digest wood, so this is more of an abnormal behavior. Chewing grass is a normal and natural eating behavior for horse. Grass provides fiber that is important for digestion as nutrient such as carbohydrate, vitamin, and mineral that horse need.
So the second question is, why are companion animals sometimes used to curb vices? Companion animals help curb vices by providing emotional support, reducing stress, and offering routine responsibility. Their presence help distract from harmful habits, while activities like walking a dog promote physical health and positive behaviors. Pets also encourage social interaction and reduce loneliness, both of which can help individuals manage stress and avoid vices. The third question is, which one of the following is likely to be the least effective in correcting vices? The first one, understanding the basis of the problem and correcting based on that information. Innovative punishments such as playing loud music accompanied by a careful explanation of why this is for your own good, or moving the horse to a different environment, or the use of physical barriers. The answer is the least effective method in correcting vices is likely to be innovative punishments such as playing loud music accompanied by a careful explanation of why this is for your own good. Punishment-based methods, especially those involving loud music or explanation that animals cannot understand, can lead to increased stress and anxiety without addressing the root cause of the problem. Animals like horses respond better to corrections based on understanding the cause of the behavior and using environmental adjustment or physical barriers to prevent the behavior, rather than punishment that may confuse or frighten them.
Okay, maybe that's all from our book summary. I'm sorry if there any less information on our group. I'm sorry if there is less information on our group. Wabillahi taufiq walhidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.